The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
I know you, your past, your future.
Ladies and gentlemen, gamers, fellow Imperials, welcome to another edition of The State of the Xbox Empire. Joining me for this month's episode is Mr. Coach Mo Mahoney. Mo, welcome to the program, and how are you this evening?
I'm good, Nader Tot. Very good. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing just dandy. Anyway, so the other person joining me for this week, our guest, is returning to the PSVG family, is Alicia, 8BitBlonde. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you again. And how have you been?
I've been great. Just dandy lately.
That seems to be the current state of affairs for a lot of people. So, for those who may not be familiar with you, where can people find you on Twitter, and what do you do in the Mixer sphere?
So basically you can find me as 8BitBlonde on Twitter, as well as Xbox, Mixer, all that good stuff. I'm a partnered variety streamer on Mixer, and I focus on making Xbox content.
Nice. That's the kind of content I like to take on and observe. So, Mo, where can people find you?
I'm at Coach Hulk, and then I'm at PlaySomeVideoGames.com. I do PSVGOT with my boy Devin, and on Xbox at The Coach Hulk. And yeah, I play lots of games.
Very good. So, for the people who are new to the show, this is the second edition of this monthly program that we're printing out now. And since you guys are both new to the show, let's go ahead and get your first Xbox experience. What introduced you to the console? So, Alicia, you first, please.
Oh boy. I actually just talked about this recently on stream, so it's funny to be saying it, like, because it was so long ago now. But I actually was introduced to Xbox by my dad. He, out of the blue, one evening, came home with the OG Xbox, as well as a copy of Fable and Halo. And this was quite a while after the console had released. And I really hadn't had it on my radar up until then. Because as I mentioned on my other, experience on PSVG, Xbox was really what got me into gaming as like a hobby and not just as something to pass the time. So yeah, he came home with it. He ended up buying it when he was out and surprising me with it, and that was kind of it. It just started from there and snowballed from there, and I'm very thankful for that. But it was completely out of the blue for me.
So, was it the Duke controller that you had for your first one?
Yes, and I could barely fit my hands around it. But I actually love that controller. I have the new reworked one pre-ordered, and I'm excited to get that.
So it's kind of funny, when I got my original Xbox, it came with a Duke controller as well, but I put that thing in a drawer pretty much as soon as I got it, because I waited for the S controller to come up before I bought the console. So I used the S controller because ain't nobody got time for that big thing. But very cool. So of the original Xbox, what was your favorite game?
My favorite game of the OG Xbox, and my favorite game till this day, is the original Fable. That game has a very special place in my heart. It was really like the be-all, end-all of my gaming experience at that time. It was like the game that got me into online gaming communities, got me into, digging deeper into games and finding like all those hidden Easter eggs and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely Fable.
Are you excited for the possible upcoming reissue of Fable?
So excited. So excited, so much so that I'm like trying to keep my expectations and my excitement in check Because I feel like if E3 comes and goes this year and there's no mention of Fable, I'm going to be absolutely heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, but at least if you have the Xbox One X, you can put in the Anniversary Edition and get the X enhanced gorgeousness of the original Fable.
Yeah, it actually, you know what, it hasn't aged perfectly, but it's aged well. And now
Well
with that
enough.
Xbox One X enhancement, it's definitely it's good. It looks good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I put it in, and I haven't gotten far into it, but it looks. You can stack it up against a current game, so it's not too bad. So, Mr. Mo, your original Xbox experience, your introduction to the console, what was that?
All right. So mine, I remember it was Thanksgiving break. It was like 2005. I was home. We didn't have the football game that week. I was in college already. And I was dating a girl, and she was like, you need a hobby. All I really did was work out, football. Like, I didn't do a lot more than that. And so she went to, I believe it was a Best Buy, and they had this new thing launching. So she bought it at like $450. It was very expensive. And she bought me a football game. She brings it home, sets it up in front of me. And I go, what is this? She goes, this is an Xbox 360. It's the newest thing. It's so cool. I'm like, okay. I play 10 minutes of that football game, and this thing pops up and scares me. And I felt like I broke the whole thing. So I said, I'm done with this. This isn't for me. You have it. There were 2 games that she bought for herself. I believe one was Elder Scrolls. Oblivion. Did Oblivion launch with 360?
I don't believe it launched, but
Was it close?
It was towards the first year and a half, I believe.
Well, there was something RPGs that she got to play with the launch of the thing.
Camino?
So she played that. So
Was it Cameo?
I have no idea. Again, I could have cared less about this box. I actually ended up going back to, I believe it was like the PS2 to play my Madden because I had no interest in it. Fast forward 3 years, my beautiful wife, who I ended up marrying and loved to death, bought me another one of these machines. This time I understood that popping thing was called an achievement, and they slowly took over my life. Slowly took over my life. But if you weren't ready for it day one, when that thing pops up, you're like, what did I just do? Did I break it? I don't understand what's happening. So day one, I was not a fan because I just needed something to play sports games on. So, but that was my first Xbox experience.
So you were introduced in the Xbox 360 generation.
Yep.
Of that generation, what was your favorite game?
Actually, I have 2 that are real close. Brink, we all know that I love it. Me and Brink are best friends. I love the fact that I've got this gargantuan monster of a character with dreadlocks, huge tattoos over, whose main gun is a Gatling gun, and his secondary gun is a sniper rifle. Sign me up for that in Call of Duty. I will wreck shop. I will go 25-1 all day long with a Gatling gun paired with a sniper rifle. My second one was a game called Remember Me. Now, this game was trashed by everyone. However, I had just moved to Orlando with my wife. I had just started teaching a new school. I missed all of my coaching friends. I missed all of my students. And I was literally like the lowest of the low for me depression-wise my whole life. I don't really get depressed very often. I'm a pretty middle of the tier guy. And I was just devastated. Like, I was so depressed. This game gave me so much joy. I went and found every hidden sticker. I went and found everything. I went and tried to beat levels over and over again, and I fell in love with it because it was this awesome female character who was rewriting memories. She actually wore clothes, which I kind of support as a married dude. Like, I'm not trying to see people not wearing clothes. It's not for me. It's why I couldn't do what was it, Game of Thrones? I watched one episode, said no thanks. I'm married to a hottie. That's all I need to see, folks. I'm good to go. But yeah, those are the 2 that I absolutely adored the most from the 360.
So if you had to pick one of those 2 that was brought to backwards compatibility, what would it be?
Probably Brink, because I could play with people. If I keep hitting up Phil, I keep hitting up Major Nelson. Like, guys, please give me some Brink. What do you need me to do? I need Brink back in my life because I played on my 3. It's the only reason I own a 360 still is because of Brink. It's the only reason I have one. Yep, I probably play Brink at least once to twice a week.
Now,
I'll jump in, play a match 2. I love it.
Is it online only?
No, you can do it offline as well.
So do you play offline, or are there still
I
people
have
actually
to.
playing online?
There's never anyone playing.
Okay. Do you ever go in there and
Aw.
just wait in the lobby for a few minutes to see what happens?
If I want to cry, if I want to just watch my heart break.
Aw.
Guys, is anyone
No.
here? Guys?
I think you should
Start singing I'm all alone.
I think you should
Someone-
stream that and
someone get
then
beside me.
tweet it out to the Brink, the game account if it's still monitored or anything, and have them retweet you.
Bethesda's who made it, and I hit them up every E3. Hey, is this the Brink Resurrection, guys? You're bringing Brink back? Are we on the brink, folks? Come on, help me out. I'm begging for it. Love me some Brink.
I wouldn't be surprised, knowing Bethesda, if they
it'll
wouldn't
change my
bring it
life.
back at some point.
I would not play Madden for like a year. Brink was on the Xbox One.
Ooh, that's saying something.
I would just be playing Brink.
Well, you might not ever see it, but there's always hope. So, thank you for sharing your first Xbox experiences. I've always, liked to hear people's how they introduced in. Were they part of the OG Xbox? Is the Xbox One their first introduction? Did they come in on the X or the 360? So it's really cool to kind of see where we're all coming from with the Xbox. And it seems like Alicia and I were both on the OG Xbox, and we were both able to jump on Xbox Live a little early in the rollout. And so that's the dive that we're going to take this episode, is kind of talking a little bit about Xbox Live. So it launched in November of 2002, which was a little over 15 years ago now. So it can almost drive. And when you think about that, there weren't a ton of games available at the outset of Xbox Live. Alicia, when did you start playing on Xbox Live, and do you remember what your first game was?
Oh God. It was on the 360 because when the OG Xbox came out, I just wasn't interested in online play. Just really was not interested at all. But yeah, it was 360, and I cannot for the life of me, and I knew this question was coming, but I cannot for the life of me remember what game it was. It has to have been a Halo. I'm not quite sure which though.
So was it Master Chief? Because that would have been 3, but if it wasn't the Chief, it was probably Reach.
No, it was. I think it was Halo 3. I'm trying to think of the first game that I actually had gamer friends, like people who were interested in playing, in the evenings and stuff, who actually wanted to jump on. I think it had to have been 3 because it was Chief. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd have to go back and check.
It makes sense because that was one of the first games that really drew a lot of people to play Xbox Live on the 360. You missed out then on the Xbox original days when they had the communicator headset that you'd plug into the top of the controller. You had the ability to mask your voice. There was like 3 different masks. There was all kinds of kind of funny, kind of not so funny stuff that they tried to pull in on the original Xbox. But when you think about it, they were really ahead of their time trying to make sure that this thing worked when they had the Ethernet port in the back of the Xbox. They had the hard drive on there because they built it with the vision that one day people would have broadband and that people would want to download content for their games too, which I can think of a couple games off the top of my head that had content. And that was Star Wars. Which one was it? It's always Star Wars for me, but which one was it? Battlefront 2, I think it was. That had 2 more heroes and another map that you could download. And then
Didn't that just come out?
well, that was that was the original Battlefront 2.
There's an original one? Like
Yes.
okay.
There was
The more you know.
But before it was EA and all that jazz, they had who was it? It was just LucasArts and I think Pandemic maybe made their Battlefronts that were on the original Xbox. That was 2000s, and yeah, that's they're reusing the naming clutch. No, they're reusing the names now. So that's what happened, Mo. I'm sorry. Did it confuse you?
I was just real confused. I was like, what? I'm like, we just got that and played it together, and then we were upset because there was microtransactions, but things were going on. And
The new one's just a really, really, really good remaster.
This is true.
Is that true?
No.
Oh,
No, not even a little bit.
I would have believed you. I was like, oh,
I'm just
okay.
messing with you.
How did they have Janine that long? She's awesome.
They had Ray way back then, man.
Yeah, it was just
Oh,
got
I like
lost.
Ray. Ray's my favorite.
So they had the option to put all that stuff in, the original Xbox, and it was expanded on with the 360. And with the 360, it also introduced, the avatars and you trying to, put your own little personal touch on your character. So for the avatar creation, do you remember, Alicia, your first avatar, and do you still kind of use it at all, or is it completely changed?
I do remember it, and you know what? I'm so excited for them to bring out the new line of avatars for the Xbox One. I miss them. I thought they were so cool, and it was just like a nice little representation of like who you were as a gamer, especially because you could like unlock the avatar rewards in game, and some of them were actually kind of hard to get, right? So it was like wearing them on your avatar was like a gold star kind of, it was like I owned this game. But yeah, I really liked them, and I'm glad to hear that they're coming back, and they're going to be, hopefully more useful than they were. Because I mean, they were kind of, unless you played like one of the Kefling games there wasn't really much to do with them. Yeah, those are good games though.
Sorry, I loved getting to play as my avatar. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm just walking around. You want me to pick this tree up, little guy? Yeah. I got you. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. Like, yes.
Go around and mess with them. I thought that was great. And I really do hope we get like another Kefling game, which I think they did tease. But yeah, I thought avatars were special, and they added like another layer of personality and like customization to Xbox. So yeah, big fan.
Yeah, you had your avatar. You could have them do little poses. You could take pictures of them. They could have props. I always wanted to get the lightsaber prop. I don't think I ever did get it, but I was going to. I had a problem paying like $5 for the lightsabers. It was expensive.
Yeah, that's a fair thing to take issue with. It's expensive for like a little digital good for your digital person.
Mo, do you remember your first avatar?
He's never changed, so yeah. The avatar I currently have is the exact same one that I created. I think he's wearing a Chicago Bears hat. He's wearing a Portland Trailblazer jersey, and he's got his shorts on. Life's good.
Mo, you know that you have to clean the clothes every now and then.
Not in Avatar Land. My guy never gets dirty.
So you still use your avatar to this day? You never did like the gamer picture or stuff like that? You always wanted to focus on the avatar?
When you look like Shrek and Sully had a baby, you don't want your own face up there. Okay? let's be honest. All right? When you aren't dealing with a whole lot in the face department, all right? You got it. Digital me, way prettier, way more handsome. Okay? So I'm just going to leave my avatar right up there doing his thing.
Yeah.
I wish I had kept using my avatar, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I kind of transitioned off to like one of the pictures when the Xbox One came out, but I don't know. My avatar's still out there in the land somewhere doing something. I think he's snapping his fingers and something's flying around his head. My first avatar, when I built it, I was looking around, and again I have a problem buying like little things for the avatar, so I just like look at the original stuff, what was available, and I think I put on like a formal suit, and my dude's just rolling around in like a formal suit, and if I remember correctly, games would give you little props or pieces of avatar like gear that you could put on, like Fable 3 or Fable 2, one of those two had the ability to do that. So it's the one thing that I was looking at when I was looking at the avatars was, does it represent me? Is it kind of cool? Is it just kind of like, what's going on? I ended up being the kind of guy that only wanted to use the stuff that I collected from the reward games. So it was my personal goal then to get the entire gear set and put it on there. And then when anybody looked at my character, they'd be like, oh, he's played Fable. I thought that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I totally get you. I got the outfit from Fable as well, the crown and everything. I loved it because like it was just that on top of achievements saying, hey, like I kicked butt at this game, you get like an actual visual representation, which I just thought was awesome.
Yeah, and I always like that. And I'm under the impression that they're going to kind of bring that back a little bit now with the new avatar system that they're rolling out. But it was really cool, and it was ahead of its time, kind of in a way. But they just kind of faded away. Things just, the avatar rewards went away because I guess nobody was using them, or the market research was telling them that didn't matter. But I always enjoyed it, kind of getting some of that gear out there. I think Earthworm Jim. I have an Earthworm Jim shirt and the Earthworm Jim super suit for doing a couple things in the Earthworm Jim game. I think there's a couple of other arcade games that were pretty popular that have like little shirts and things with them that I've unlocked. So it's kind of cool to have those, looking through the collection and seeing what's out there. I think Perfect Dark, I have something for that too. So it was just like a nice little reward thing that they could just put out there as part of the allure of the avatars to kind of make it more unique and more your own by giving those rewards and making them things that people couldn't just buy either, which was another kind of cool thing because like you said, it was like the step above the achievements, right? It was like people could see like, hey, he's done this. That's pretty cool. So in addition to the avatar rewards and things like that, the Xbox 360 and the Xbox Live rolled out achievements. But before we get there, Mo, I do want to. I would be remiss if I didn't say, back in the original Xbox days, you could create your gamer tag, and for a while though, you couldn't actually change your gamer tag until the 360 days, without like going through a whole lot of hoops. However, you can change your gamer tag if you'd like to. So, the gamer tag situation when you sat down to create your gamer tag and say, this is going to be me on Xbox for all my achievements, for all my, gaming legacy. Did you think of it from that point of view, or did you just sit down and type some stuff in there and just took whatever came up? Alicia?
The first gamer tag was just really simple. It was my first name and my middle name, and I didn't really put any thought into it whatsoever at all. It was a good one. Like, it wasn't like XXX Angel _ baby 37 XXX again. You know what I mean?
So dibs on that.
Rebranding. But yeah, no, I didn't really think about it all that much. I was just like, oh, this, it's me. So I guess that's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I sat down and found mine, I was always a fan of Spider-Man, and I've always been a fan of Star Wars and the Jedi and things like that. So my gamer tag that I came up with, which I think I even created the email address to get it to, was Spider Jedi. So I've rocked with that ever since I signed up with Xbox Live 15 years ago, and I've never had the desire to change it. And it's one of those things where it's just kind of I'm surprised, as I've gotten older, like with Twitter and stuff, I had a handle and I changed it to be more like me, but I've never changed it, and I don't know if I ever really will, because it's just kind of a good representation of where I am as a gamer, because it's not like an XX sniper XX4, that kind of thing, and it's just kind of your own name. There's doesn't have to have any numbers in there, doesn't have to have any underscores or any spaces. It's just mine. It's kind of nice. And I remember, I think I talked about this last time, but in the early days of Xbox Live, when you would play different games, they would do recaps of like the top 10 performers in a particular game. And, they would say, oh, Spider Jedi's doing this. And then they make a comment about the gamer tag. And they said, what's a Spider Jedi? And they say, is it a spider with 8 lightsabers or something like that running around? That's kind of scary. But it was just kind of fun back in the day what they would actually do with the commentary. Again, being ahead of their time, trying to be more engaged with the social community of the aspect. But it's really cool. So, Mo, what was your first gamer tag, and did you ever change it?
So I did not find out the Xbox 360 could go online until 2010. So the first 3 years, it was just Mo, or my wife was Lacey. We would just click on the little thing and play. In 2010, everybody was playing online. I was like, okay, what do I have to buy to do that? Like, you just plug it into the internet. And I was like, plug what into the internet? Like, you're 360. So then it made me create one, and I wasn't smart enough to know, like, you had to come up with something original. So I just put Coach Mo, and I was Coach Mo until one day you were like, you know, you can change your gamer tag. I was like, yeah, you should make like Coach Hulk. And I was like, I love the Hulk. I am a coach. This is a good plan. And so I changed it to that. And so, I never put a lot of thought into it. I literally had to have people spoon feed me the technology because I'm so far behind. Like, I have zero tech skill. We had to log on before this. You could teach me how to use my Surface to record this podcast. So I don't have the abilities. I just like to plug stuff in and play. So yeah, that was it for me.
So you were Coach Mo for a long time, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, because when I remember when we first met and started playing games, you were Coach Mo, then you changed the gamer tag there. The first time you changed it was free, correct? You didn't have to pay the $10?
Yeah, they let me do it for free.
Yeah, so the first time you go to change your gamer tag, I believe it's free. And then if you want to change it after that, it's like $10 or something like that, which is pretty, small fee for... I think it's a deterrent to really kind of be like, don't change your gamer tag every other day or something like that. But it's... there's other competing systems that don't let you change your gamer tag or your IDs, and it's just kind of funny that you've been able to do it since the Xbox 360 days, like way back when, and it continues on. So achievements, you alluded to it, Mo, a couple of times. You
Yes.
took your Xbox back because they scared you, and now you take your Xbox with you because you're scared to have it, or just scared not to be with it, rather. So
It's true. I own a Windows phone just for the ability to get achievements while I'm waiting for stuff to happen.
So why don't you tell me, Mo, about your first experience with achievements and why you continue to pursue them?
So, 2015, I moved to San Antonio. My wife got a new job. I got a job as a PE teacher, and I had the entire summer basically alone because she went home to Montana to help family, and I was staying with the dog to get us into our new apartment. And I followed this little podcast called MTTG. Have you ever heard of it, Nate?
Yes, y'all, I have.
And they had this wonderful community, and this was the first time that I had met people who, like me, liked Madden. And I actually watched this 24-hour stream for Extra Life by this guy named Nader Tot. I don't know if you know him. Really handsome, smart guy, wonderful family, love him to pieces. And he was playing Madden, so I watched about 3 hours of this guy playing Madden. I'm like, dude, I would have wrecked this dude.
You would have.
I would take him to the cleaners. Mm-hmm. But instead, I just donated money to him, and I cheered for him.
Yeah, that works too.
And I was very proud of him. And then that led to me and him starting a conversation. He was, you should join our Madden League and play games with us. And I said, okay. That summer, I finally said yes. My gamer score was like 30,000 at the time. His gamer score was like 85,000. The competitive nature became me catching him.
Really?
And once I caught you and beat you.
That was the Genesis?
Yep.
I
And then
created you?
You did. You made this. This is your fault. Then I saw our buddy Ray was at 100,000, and I said, "Oh, I'm coming for you, Big Daddy. Mo was coming. Gonna go get you." A little competitive nature. So I caught up to him, and now I'm in 3 years from there. I'm at 185,000 achievement score. Not true achievement, like actual on the console, 185K. Soon to be 200K.
Is that your goal for like this year, is getting to 200K?
No, my goal for this year is actually 225, because then by the end of next year, I will be at 300K.
That's just
And then
that's crazy.
A year after that, year after that, the $500,000 mark, baby, the $500,000, the golden carrot. And once I get there, I'm done.
Are you just going to retire? Are you going to be like,
I am.
no more gaming?
I'm done. I'm gonna create a new profile and just leave it at the 500K.
Oh, no, don't do that, because then you lose all your friends and all that jazz.
It's not hard to find you guys.
Oh, okay, good.
I do know all of your gamer tags.
What if I change mine and you don't know? Oh, no.
Oh, then we'll be gone forever and I'll miss you.
Yeah.
So.
And then I'll have 100,000 gamer score already, and you'll be like, no.
Then I'll have to start over.
But the good thing is that you'll have all these games already that you can just go to and play again.
Here's the thing. I remember, who was it? Somebody. So last year, Al, this is new information. for you. Last year, I did this thing where every month I tried to be top of our group on the achievements boards. I won every month, but one I lost by 20. My buddy Ray snaked in. I was like, you know what, guys? I won 11 out of 12 months. Remember, that's fine. Not a big deal. Currently, I've won.
Would have been better.
It would have been. I've won January. I've won February. I'm up $3,000 on everybody in March.
Nice.
But people keep telling me we're gonna get you, guys. If you want a list, you could catch me. I get you $5,000 achievement score in less than an hour and a half. Less than an hour and a half. It's not hard. Just got to be willing to play some games that maybe aren't that great.
Barbie's Pony Ride?
Hey, that's a good game. You better not knock that.
I was just asking.
It's got deep meaning, guys.
Solid game of the year.
I just had to get her to the dream house. She deserved it.
It's kind of interesting with achievements. So, they were introduced with 360 like King Kong and those games. And they were originally only like 1,000 gamer score. And then there were a few games that had, some DLC that added on a little bit extra to it. And the arcade games like, your Geometry Wars and Limbo, they only had 200 gamer score. Mo, when you started playing and you had these 200 gamer score games, did you even look at them because they only had 200 gamer score?
Most of those were on the 360. I didn't start achievement hunting until the Xbox One.
Okay.
So I didn't. Yeah, that never was I didn't even faze me then. I'm actually going back through games that I'm like, oh wait, like Red Dead Redemption. I played that on the PS3. So those are trophies. So it's back in pat. I'm going to spend this summer after we move, knock out those achievements again. So there are a bunch of games that now, because of backwards compatibility, I will be going back and replaying because this will be the first summer in, let's see, me and my wife have been together 10 years. In 10 years where I don't have like a summer job. So I'll have an entire summer to do whatever I want. So I'm going to go knock out some of those old games that I played on PS3.
You think you're going to be playing games on your PS or on your Xbox rather, but you're really going to be going to Disney World like every day.
Remember, that's not known.
I'm talking about like you're going to fly to Disney World every day.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So we're gonna talk to you a little bit now, Alicia. I know you've been over there. I think he said something that perked your interest a little bit about Red Dead. What did he say? What perked?
So I realized I had never played a Rockstar game, like ever, just recently, and we had bought Red Dead and Undead Nightmare on sale a while back because we're like, oh, it's backwards compat. I have to play it eventually because Red Dead 2 is coming out, so we'll buy it. It was like $13. It was a good deal. I recently started playing it, and I'm not meant to be a cowboy, is what I've discovered. I am not meant to be a cowboy. No, honestly, I was enjoying the game, and I don't want to give like spoilers or anything like that, but there is a certain point in the game where you have to go to a different location, and things just went downhill from there. Yeah, no, I, like, honestly, can I say it out loud? Like, is that okay?
I mean, it's old. It's old.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
the game sends you to Mexico, and then it just gets so boring. It's like go from point A to point Z over and over and over and over again, and just terrible things happen in between. And I was like, I can't take this. I literally put the game down. I was like, I'm done here. And I was having so much fun with it up until that point. And I don't want to go into like game design and everything because that's like a whole other discussion. But yeah, that I was just, he's like, yeah, I'm going to be replaying Red Dead Redemption. I was like,
well, it does have the worst
Like, in my
ending
head.
ever. I will point that out. One of the worst
Like-
endings ever, Red Dead Redemption.
like worst
But
as
the
in
best
like just
poker.
Okay, so it made me play poker too.
All
First
of the
all, I don't
games
know
are
how to
great.
play poker. I don't know how to play poker. And then the guy got mad and tried to shoot at me. It was a very, very angry game. All of those men were just very angry.
No, the ending of that game. So I don't want to spoil it for you in case you do go back and play it. But
Well, I've heard that it's like terrible and heartbreaking.
no, that's not what's bad about it.
Oh.
It's bad
It's just
because of the
bad?
fact you go through and fight so many fights in that game, and all of a sudden at the ending, evidently you can no longer fight the way you've been fighting for the last 50 hours of the game.
Oh,
That's all I'm saying. Really
I don't-
annoying.
I honestly, I've had such a bad stretch, like bad luck stretch with games recently, like picking ones up, thinking I'm going to enjoy it, and then having to like just drop it like a hot potato. So I don't think I'll be going back to Red Dead, but I don't know. You never know. You never know.
Trust the gut. Always trust the gut.
Yeah.
So, talking about Gamerscore then, do you remember your first achievement? Do you hunt achievements? What's your overall thought on the achievement system?
I love achievements. I am nowhere in the, you know, I'm not in
Demosphere?
your sphere. I'm not in your sphere, gamer score wise. I'm at 55K,
That's a good number.
which isn't bad. It isn't bad. But I love achievements, and actually achievement design is something that I'm very interested in from a professional standpoint. It's something I've dabbled in professionally, and I don't go after achievements willy-nilly. I tend to go after achievements in games that I really enjoy. So I will 100% games that I really get into. But, you know, if I'm playing a game and it hasn't really caught my attention, I'll leave a few achievements unfinished. You know what I mean? I won't go after them. I don't have the attention span for that like some people do, which I can totally respect people who can sit down and like, you know, go. But I'm just like, if I don't like a game, I won't put myself through it, you know, but.
So if you really enjoy a game, like let's say Fable, and you want to just keep playing that game until there's nothing else to play, will you just go back and do all the achievements?
Yeah, I mean, I've done that. Like when Fable Anniversary released on Xbox 360, I sat there and went through it top to bottom, and there's one achievement that's eluding me because it's bugged. It was the one to read all the books, and that one slipped through my grasp, and I was so upset when that happened. But yeah, I will play a game start to finish just to get the achievements out of it. Yeah.
Fable 1 is... Now, I've never played that one. Is it as good as 2 and 3?
It's
I
better
love
than 2 and 3.
Better than 3 is not hard.
Well,
3, when it got to the end, I was like, you guys stop trying. You just didn't care anymore. 2 was magnificent. I love me some 2.
I wasn't a huge fan of 2 and 3, to be completely honest. They are very different than the first game in terms of mechanics, I guess, to an extent. But I think it's definitely, if you liked 2 and 3, you could go back and play 1 and still enjoy it. It's a little bit dated now, but it's definitely worth the play.
In 1?
No.
No dog
I'm
in
good.
1?
No, thank you.
No.
Not interested.
No, thank you. Pass.
Oh.
Sorry. I literally... Spoilers for
It's
Fable
okay.
2. Let's just say when at the end of that game, me and the dog left together. That's all I gotta say.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Happily left together.
So, with all that, you remember gamer cards that were part of the Xbox 360 days? Mm-hmm. They had your reputation. Do you remember your reputation? You kind of carried around with you. People would vote you as a good gamer, a bad gamer, things like that. Do you ever remember your reputation on the 360 days, Alicia?
Yeah, mine was always in good standing.
Yeah.
Mostly because if I needed to rage or yell at someone, I would mute myself. Or muffle the mic. I would like put my hand around the microphone on my headset and just like scream. But no, mine was always pretty good. I didn't really become angry at video games until the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, mine was always on, like, because it had a little meter, didn't it? It had the little meter, and mine was always on this side. This is the good side.
I remember mine was always on the good side too, except for when it started playing Halo. I think it was Halo 3, and people would just be mad at you, and they would just downvote you wherever, because they're like, oh, blah, 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 I'm going to downvote you. And they would send you voice messages too that were just stupid. Remember those, like, little voicemails? And it's just, it's kind of a funny thing. I think they got rid of it because people just kept, not using it the way it was intended. But, when you think of the reputation system, they've kind of still got it in a way where you can report players, and if there's so many people reported, and it's recurring, and they do some investigations, and they could get banned. So it's still kind of there in spirit. But Mo, what about you? Were you on the red all the time?
Actually, I only know this because I played Brink today. I still have a 5-star rating on the 360.
Ooh.
So that's the rep card. So I was very surprised. Like, how do I have 5 stars? And I think it's because Bethesda knows I'm the only person still playing Brink. And so they log in and give me a star because they're like, hey, big guy, we know you love this game. No one else did. So here you go. But yeah, so I only know that because I saw it today. So.
That's cool. So moving along with our evolution of Xbox Live, it included, if there's always the free membership like the Xbox Live Silver, or I don't know if it's still called Silver or what it's called these days. I think it's just Xbox Live. And
Just
then,
Xbox Live, yeah. And then we have Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. So if you buy the annual subscription or the monthly subscription for Xbox Live Gold, they have a program now called Games with Gold, which gives you, at the current state, 2 Xbox 360 games that are backwards compatible to be played on Xbox One, and 2 Xbox One games that are yours as long as you are a member of Xbox Live Gold. So they're essentially free games if you just always retain Xbox Live Gold status. So 4 games that can be played on your Xbox 360, or I'm sorry, on your Xbox One, and 2 games if you still play on Xbox 360. If you think back to the Games with Gold program, have there been any standout games that you thought were really good additions to the library? Let's start with you, Mel.
First one I would say would be Massive Chalice. That game was dope.
That was
really
so
game.
good. I love that game.
Really enjoyable. And the other one's actually a new one that just happened this last month. Brave is so much fun to play. I love Disney. A lot of people know that. I'm a big Disney fan. I love the Epcot, love the world. Animal Kingdom and I are fine. We tolerate each other. But as someone who has just a heart for Disney and all the cool things they do, when I played their games, I'm pretty critical because I expect more from them. Brave is actually a lot of fun. Like, I'm actually really enjoying playing that game. And so I was really glad because I would never have played it had it not been free.
So I haven't had a chance to jump in and play it yet, but that seems to be the case with a lot of my Games with Gold games. For me, Super Hot, it's not Super Hot, like you said, Massive Chalice, that was actually the real big surprise for me. I never would have played it before, and I never would have wanted to see what Massive Chalice was all about, but it's kind of like the XCOM type game where you go in there and you can have these units and they will die if you let them die, and just, I don't know, but it's really a fun game. Did you ever play it, Alicia?
No.
Do you have it?
No, I don't think I actually downloaded that one, to be totally honest. And I normally download all 4 games just to kind of have them in my library, just in case. Mm-hmm. But no, I think I skipped that one.
So, what was your standout game then?
I kind of torn between 2. Layers of Fear.
Ooh, scary, spooky.
Yeah, scary, spooky time. And it was I liked the psychological, horror in Layers of Fear.
I missed one thing in there for an achievement. Like, there's one collectible or something, and I'm too stubborn to go look at guides. But to this day, it still bugs me.
Might be time for another playthrough soon. So other than Layers of Fear, there was also Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, which is a great co-op game that my fiance and we had a lot of fun with. We're always looking for co-op games that kind of challenge us. Overcooked.
Oh man!
But Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, that was a great free title.
Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. I haven't had a chance to play that yet, but I picked it up. This seems to be the case with me, is I usually pick up a game on sale 3 months before it actually ends up being a Games with Gold type title. I don't know if that happens to you guys at all, but it just happens to me a lot. I don't know if they're just
It's happened.
what are you guys buying this week? Okay, we're going to make this Game with Gold in 3 months. Mo, I think that happens a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. I buy a lot of games. What did we say? There's 900 games on my Xbox One right now. So, yeah. With that being said, a lot of times the moment it goes on Games of Gold, I go, oh, cool, time to trade this in. So then I get the trade credit for it because I love my physical discs because they give me extra value. So
since the Games with Gold program started in June of 2013. For the Xbox 360 through the month of March that we're currently in, Quantum Conundrum being the latest edition, there are 119 Game with Gold games for the Xbox 360 and 82 ending with Super Hot on the Xbox One. So there's a lot of games that have been released as part of this program. And if you look at the list, you got some good ones on here. You got Assassin's Creed 2, you got Bayonetta, which some people like. I don't really care for it. Dragon Age Origins, the Lego Star Wars games, The Force Unleashed 2, Assassin's Creed Revelations, Monkey Island 2 Special Edition. I mean, you got a lot of good stuff in here. And Burnout Paradise, obviously, is a recent title that people are talking about because of the remaster coming out and then also being backwards compatible on the Xbox One. But did you guys realize there were that many games? It's gotten to that level so far? Over 200?
No, I didn't realize we had reached that numbers yet. I realized that we had been getting a lot of free content, but I hadn't realized that the numbers had gotten that high yet.
I'm in the same boat. I could not have told you. I was like, since it launched, we've been getting games. Some of them have been really good.
Some of them have been not so good. I mean, let's be honest.
What was that one that I tried to get the 1,000 in that it had that deer sitting on top of a mountain?
The Deer God?
Yes. Oh, goodness.
I don't even understand that
was a rough
game. I don't even know.
It was a rough game.
I have a least favorite that came out recently.
Ooh, do tell.
Okay, so first let me just preface this with, I have never rage quit a game before. Ever. Ever. But Assassin's Creed Chronicles India, I have never wanted to physically hurl my controller across the room before, but this game made me cry on stream.
Ooh.
It reduced me to frustrated tears live in front of people. This game, I wish it had never come into my life. That's how passionately I feel about this one particular Games with Gold title.
Wow. I've not yet played that. I mean, what was it about it that
Delete it now. Honestly, and we kind of like my community and I kind of had like a little bit of a post-mortem after my breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
We sat there and it was mostly the fact that they tried to fit all the mechanics of a full-fledged Assassin's Creed game into a 2.5D universe that just did not work. And the controls were just beyond frustrating, just overly sensitive or not sensitive enough at different times. And just long. So many long years of my life, it felt like.
How far into the game did you get?
Oh, you know what? I honestly think I was very close to the end, but it was when I got stuck on this one portion for about 4.5 hours that I was just like, you know what? No, we need to end this now. This is an abusive relationship. It needs to end.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's been my only regret for Games with Gold as far as downloads go so far.
Yeah, as far as regrets for me, I don't really know what would be my regret, but I did not like the Deer God, like he said. That was just, I booted up. I was like, okay, let's check this thing out, see what's happening. But it didn't. This didn't do anything for me. And I don't really like the Van Helsing games either. Those games like keep putting out each one. Just stop, you guys. Don't do it. Oh wow. So Mo, any thoughts on your least favorite of the Xbox games with gold?
My problem is if they have achievements, I already like them a little bit. Like that's the problem is like you're like, oh dear God, I don't understand it. I'm like, oh, I put 20 hours in that game trying to get these last two achieves. I understand I have a problem. Like our buddy Dan constantly makes fun of me and shames me a little about my addiction. But here's the thing, like I love the competition that there is in me getting to go after and beat this game that these awesome people put together. And whether I think it's good or great, at the end of the day, like I know how hard people are working to put it together, and they give me these achievements for me to go beat this thing that they think I should be able to beat and get this story out of it. And it's led to me playing some really great games. So none that I would say I disliked. I did have a hard time playing Assassin's Creed India, but if you play the China one, I felt that one was much better, much more well done, and I think the controls were much more enjoyable. I do think India was rushed. I think they made some mistakes there, and you're not the first person that I've heard had an issue with that. Ed Placencia rage quit during
That makes
AC
me feel a little bit better.
India as well. I don't think he lasted as far as you did either. Like we could tell you put the time in. I think he only put like an hour and a half in. I was like, nope, see ya, deuces,
Well,
have a good day.
That's it. I had people coming into my stream and being like, "Oh, you're still playing this?" I made it an hour, and every single my first hint should have been the fact that every single achievement was a rare achievement in that game. I was like, this says a lot.
Yeah, especially being a Games with Gold title, and had it been out for a couple weeks by that point.
It had to have been out for about a week and a half, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and for them to still be rare, people are just like, nah, no thanks.
Yeah.
So, when you look at Xbox Live as a whole, it's a great service for the Xbox. Obviously, it's got all these big things that have attached to it. We've talked about achievements. We talked about, Games with Gold. And one of the groundbreaking things that they did, which was really cool, was the party system. And they perfected it on the 360. And I'm sorry to say, but it's just never been quite as good as it was in the 360 days. But when you think about, the party system, being able to get everybody in the same group and go play the game, that was really cool and new for a console sphere, because before then you had to try to join a game with somebody else and then get in the same room and go on different consoles. But Xbox always kind of had it built in for you to get in there and play with your friends, which is always really nice and really cool. So, very cool. Xbox Live. Any final thoughts, Alicia?
No, not really. I do have to agree with you that it kind of peaked in the 360 days, and I'm still waiting for them to, come out and announce something for parties and on Xbox One that are gonna, revolutionize the way that we do things. Mm-hmm. But nothing yet. There's still time though.
Yeah, I mean, the kind of cool thing that they just did was adding the support on the cell phones.
Yeah.
On like your, Android or iOS type devices. Have you used that at all yet?
No, I have not. It does simplify things though, instead of booting up Discord, now I can go directly to my Xbox app and kind of keep it all in the same ecosystem. Mm-hmm. But no, I haven't given it a shot yet. I really haven't had to, but it's nice to know it's there. Mm-hmm. Especially if I ever travel, you know what I mean, and I want to like catch up with friends. It's just pop into one of their game nights and bother them from afar.
I just want to pop in on Mo and Dan when they're playing a really intense PUBG duo match, and they're in the final five, and I'm gonna hop in there and be like, "Hey guys, where's a good place to go for some cheese fries over here?" And they'll be like, "Shut up."
No, I'll always respond when it comes to cheese fries. That's life. So cheese fries are quite the enjoyable thing. So I actually have used the party on the cell phone. Only like today, I played PUBG with Kevin, and I sent him a party invite from the phone as I went upstairs, because I just wanted to, like, he was already on. I was like, hey, I'm headed up. I'll be booting the system on. And once it was on, I flipped over and joined from my headset. Much easier. And I did want to add, the party system is the reason I went back to Xbox One. So at launch day, I picked up a PS4, picked up 2 or 3 games, and was like, oh, this is really fun. I loved Resogun. Resogun was still probably my favorite game of the generation, PS4 or Xbox One. I love that game. And so we turn in, and I'm like, okay, this party system on the PS4 sucks. First, I have to scroll up, click on this. Then I have to scroll down, say, yes, I want to start a party. Then I have to go through and decide who I'm inviting. Then I have to send them an invite, and then I have to accept it and go in. The Xbox One, you push one button, start a party, done. Life's good. So I'm still a big fan of what they're doing, and very grateful that they didn't convolute a system that doesn't need to be convoluted.
Mm-hmm. I agree. With Xbox Live and parties and all that, they've also integrated it with Windows 10 really well, and with the Xbox Play Anywhere. So like if I'm playing Forza on my PS on my Xbox One with somebody on their Xbox Windows, we can play together and talk together, and everything just works really well because it's like a seamless integration. Sea of Thieves is going to have something like that too really soon here, and Really excited to see what happens with the adoption rate on there, because Sea of Thieves, by all accounts, has been pretty well. Everybody that's played the beta has liked it so far. And this will be the first game that I think a lot of people want to do, maybe possibly cross playing on. So that's another aspect that Xbox Live has enabled, is this cross playing ability via Xbox Live on PCs or on Nintendo Switches now. So when you talk about crossplay, that's an option out there. Is there any game on another console that you want to play crossplay with that just doesn't work yet? Mo, what you got?
The only one that I could say anything to would be Mario Kart on Nintendo Switch. I hate the Joy-Cons. They are so small. I am a very large man. My thumb is bigger than the Joy-Con. And I'm not, I'm just telling you, it's real awkward. The Pro Controller, also very small. That is not a very big controller. Works for me a little bit better. But I would love to use my Xbox One Elite controller. That is to this day the most perfect controller anyone's ever made. It fits my hands perfectly. My fingers get to use the back buttons. I don't think I've ever touched the face buttons on that controller because I use the back buttons. So it just works for me. Being able to play a game like that on there would be perfect. Would be perfect. Just a little mini racy game, go in there and crush people, have a good time. Like, we need that arcadey fun racer on the Xbox. The ones they've come up with, like Coffin Crashers, not good. Not a good game. Tough to get through on that one.
Yeah.
I would love something like that. I think that'd be great.
What about you, Alicia?
Kind of drawing a blank here. Honestly, except for a few popular releases, I do try and stay away from like online multiplayer games. So crossplay in that sense of being able to play with people on other platforms doesn't entirely appeal to me just yet. Yeah, I might have to come back to me on this one because I'm completely drawing a blank.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, for me, talking about like playing with something on the Nintendo Switch, I think it'd be fun to play a game like Madden, where I can play a season with somebody that's on Nintendo Switch, running around, and I can also come to my house and play my Xbox, and it's the same season, it's the same games, it's the same people. I think that'd be pretty fun because I take my Switch with me to work, I take it with me when I travel. I don't always play it, but, being able to actually have that ability or that option, I think I'd like that because that'd be, to me, probably the most useful. So, that's my thoughts on that. So, I think we're kind of rounding down to the bottom of the discussion now with our Xbox Live and our state of the Xbox Empire at this point. So, overall thoughts on Xbox Live, the platform, the service. One bit of a tidbit of information. How much do you think Xbox Live brings in a year for Xbox?
I'm really bad at math.
I'm going to say 123 million.
123 million.
Yes. I think you caught on in my system.
Got it.
I mean, 124 million.
That throws it all off now.
Genius.
So, in 2010, Bloomberg estimated that Xbox Live brought in over $1 billion in revenue. And that's just in 2010. So think about that back then. Now there's more users. There has to be. They've raised the price, but there's also more features. They've enhanced the system, but it's got to be pretty similar. So I would think that they're still generating over $1 billion in revenue just from Xbox Live.
So I didn't get it right.
Well, I mean, they are generating 123 million, but just more.
I win. What do I get?
You get a silver thing.
Yes, I love the silver things. I hope it's a pony.
Yeah. So anyway, final thoughts on Xbox Live, Alicia. What's your overall feeling? Does it strengthen the Xbox brand?
Yeah, I think that Xbox Live is kind of a cornerstone of the Xbox brand at this point. I think that community more so than ever is the reason why people make decisions when they're deciding which console to buy. They want to play where their friends are playing, where their favorite content creators are playing, stuff like that. So I think that Xbox Live really lets gamers make those communities and those connections that are super important. And I think that Xbox, with the incentive of, games with gold, sales, getting discounted prices with having Xbox Live Gold, is super important. And I think it's a big part of Xbox. And I mean, it's a really solid service too. I mean, we don't experience much downtime. If we do experience downtime, Xbox is really good about, relaying information and being transparent about things. But I think Xbox Live makes Xbox in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Mo, final thoughts. Xbox Live.
Xbox Live is only as valuable as the community you have. I didn't use it for a long time. All right, it wasn't for me. I didn't do a lot of the stuff that you were supposed to do. I did it backwards. But right now with Xbox Live, today, I'm in my garage lifting. I have a weight room in there, and I remember I was sitting on the incline press. I'm knocking it out, and my phone goes off saying Kevin just popped online. That's Xbox Live at work. Okay, because I have my notifications set. Kevin's online, so I send a quick message. Hey, what are you gonna play? I'm gonna play PUBG. I add him to the party, and I walk up the stairs from the weight room, jump in, play 2 rounds with him, have a blast, then head downstairs, give the wife a kiss, eat a little food, and now I'm up here talking to you guys. The service, because of the people, makes it worth. I would pay $100 a year for this service because of how great it is and how it allows me to connect with these wonderful people. If I didn't have you guys, if I didn't have you, Nate or Todd, if I didn't have Kev and Dev and Dan and Josh and Brian and Ray and all these wonderful people, wouldn't be worth it because I buy the games anyways. It's the people who make it such a great service. So that's what I'll add.
So I definitely agree. Xbox Live is a great community. You can have, we didn't even talk about this, but there's clubs out there that you can create and join and really be able to play with more people than you have on your friends list. And it's, to me, when I look at playing games, I have a PlayStation and I have a Switch and I have an Xbox. But I always want to play on the Xbox because of 2 reasons. A, I prefer the controller. But B, I like the ecosystem. And that is Xbox Live. That is, playing with my friends, seeing when they come online, getting the achievements as they, come through. I'd rather have an achievement than a trophy. And I really enjoy the ecosystem that was created on the Xbox side. Now with the integration with Mixer, making it all just real easy to broadcast with your friends, to watch your friends as they play, to hop in and just chat and watch, and everything that they're doing to integrate everything together. It really, like you guys said, it's the community, and it's that aspect that makes it easy and makes it quick to connect with everybody out there. The fact that they've put the app on the phone, like you alluded to, Mo, just so you can get in with your buddies quicker. You can talk with them. You can keep up with them. You can send them a message. Hey, do you want to raid tonight? We're going to get some PUBG match tonight. Do you want to come in? It gives you that ability to really keep it all in the same ecosystem, like you alluded to earlier, Alicia. Just having it all together in that one spot, that single pane of glass, if you will. And it's a great product. And I would never have my Xbox without Xbox Live Gold at this point because it's just so ingrained. Being able to play all the games with everybody, having all those services, the games with gold, and just really enjoying everything that I get from it. It's worth it for me. Mo, I'd probably pay $100 as well. Don't tell Microsoft that. but it's worth it. And I think it's really a great value and really is a cornerstone of what they are as a brand now. So, that being said, I think of the state of the Xbox Live is strong. So, anyway, there we go. So, thank you again for joining me. Alicia, once more, where can people find you?
You can find me as 8BitBlonde pretty much everywhere, including Xbox Live, Twitter, Mixer, all that stuff, everywhere.
All the
GOG
jazz.
for life.
And Mr. Mo?
On the Twitter, I am the Coach Hulk or Coach Hulk. I think it's the exact same on the Xbox. I could not tell you my PSN one, but we don't have to here, so it doesn't matter. I don't know what an Instagram is. I've heard it's got pictures, and as I said, as an ugly person, I don't need that in my life. So no. But again, I'm always down to play anything. So if anybody ever needs a partner in crime, if I haven't gotten the 1,000 yet, I will totally join you. If I have gotten the 1,000, I'll think about it.
But what if it's a game like PUBG that doesn't have achievements right now?
Why do you think I constantly feel regret when I play that game?
But you love playing it, don't you?
I
know
love
those
playing it,
feels.
but the problem is there's no achievement. So I'm like, I guess I'll go play Fortnite.
So we're grudging. Oh, Fortnite, we'll go play. You can find me on Xbox Live at Spider Jedi. You can find me on Twitter at voiced by Nathan. There we go. And you can find the show at PSVG Xbox Empire. So follow us over there. When we get to 100 people following, I'm going to give away some stuff. So give us a follow and, yeah, join the conversation. Join everybody that's been talking on the episode tonight. Alicia and Mo, hit them up on Twitter. Tell them that you like what they said or you disagreed with everything Nathan said. It's fine. It's okay. I understand. You hate me. I'm here to be hated. Woohoo!
I love you, Nader Todd. Remember, I was singing to you earlier. I don't just sing to anybody. I only sing to special people that I love.
But you did sing to Donnie once.
Again, special people that I love.
All right, you guys, thank you again for joining me. And listeners, thank you for listening. We appreciate you giving us the hour that you gave us tonight or today whenever you're listening to this. And we hope that you found this enjoyable and the Xbox Empire appreciates your patronage.
This has been a production of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network. Find more great content at playsomevideogames.com.